I saw a magnificent Bayetto 44 meters, the ex Tatiana per sempre. That's when I actually fell in love with yachting, and I said, wow, what a beautiful yacht. My personal vision was to create safe jobs all year round for Greek crew. Greek shipping is number one in the world, Evangelos. Why can't Greek yachting be number one in the world? So our end goal and our vision, apart from what I said for the crew, is also for Greece to become number one location in the yachting industry, but also number one in management of yachts around the world. We are building these yachts. This is specific. We are building these yachts for commercial use. What does commercial use mean? It means our captains, our chief engineers, our bosses, our hotel managers are all involved, apart from our back office at Angel Yachts. They are all involved in the building of these yachts. The difference between private and commercial. Commercial yachts, sailing around the world. You need to provide accommodations to your crew to be able to be in an environment that they can work the hours and the days that are required. We are here to provide them with services, and that means to be available for them 24/7 for whatever their needs are. So therefore, like you and I enjoy going to a hotel, or anyone going to a hotel, and the owner coming and welcoming you, this is again, it's philoxenia.
What do you love most about your job?
Love what I do. And again, this is something that I try to pass on to my colleagues, both in the office and aboard the yachts. Find something that you love, you will never need to work in your life. If you don't get up in the morning and have a smile on your face going to work, then resign. Try and find something else.
Without further ado, I'm Evangelos Angelakos, and this is the Mooring Line. If you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe or follow button. It helps the show grow, brings in the guests you want to hear from, and allows us to keep improving the production. Thank you.
Dimitris Angelakos, Managing Director of Angel Yachts, has established himself as a significant figure in the yachting industry in Greece. With extensive experience in the maritime sector, he possesses deep knowledge of maritime transport and the nautical world, enabling him to lead Angel Yachts effectively. As the head of the company, he drives its growth and expansion, focusing on service, quality, and innovation in the luxury commercial yacht sector. In just 4 years of operation, Angel Yachts has earned recognition as a reliable provider of yachting services, thanks to Mr. Angelakos' unwavering commitment to excellence and professionalism. In addition to overseeing the company, Mr. Angelakos actively supports vessel crews, ensuring their professional development and training. He firmly believes that the success of any maritime company is rooted in the strength and capabilities of its crew and office staff. To that end, he continuously invests in creating a better working environment by offering growth opportunities and ongoing training. Passionate about the sea and yachting, he dedicates valuable time and energy to the advancement of the industry. He aims to create new business opportunities and promote Greece as a leading global destination for yachting enthusiasts. With a clear and dynamic vision for the future, Dimitris Angelakos continues to work tirelessly to promote the Greek yachting industry, keeping Angel Yachts at the forefront of the competition while expanding its network internationally.
Welcome to the second episode of the Mooring Line. Today we have the privilege of conducting this interview in a remarkable setting on board the magnificent super yacht Idyllic. Our guest for today's interview is Mr. Dimitris Angelakos, a fifth-generation ship owner and the founder and managing director of Angel Yachts. Currently, Angel Yachts manages motor yachts in the 60-meter range, including Idyllic, the yacht we are on today. Moreover, the company has placed a landmark order, 3 70-meter motor yachts at the Italian Sea Group, the largest of its kind ever placed globally to date. Mr. Angelakos, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Tell us a bit about yourself and how you got started in the yachting industry.
It's a pleasure to have you aboard. I would like to start by congratulating you for this vidcast, podcast, and your initiative to do this. It's a great idea, and I think your viewers will appreciate this. They can learn a lot from these interviews. And it's also a platform for people like us, management companies, to be able to, pass our philosophy and ideas to crew members, to people who work in the industry.
Thank you so much for your kind comments. That was our aim from the beginning, to create a supportive platform for every stakeholder in the industry. So thank you so much for bringing that up.
It was a great idea for you to start these vidcasts with a true yachtsman, a compatriot of mine from Inouses, Mr. Nicolas Pateras, who is a true yachtsman, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 5 to 6 decades being a yachtsman from a young age and from his family. Regarding your question on how I got started in the yachting industry, well, it's actually a very interesting story. As you mentioned, my family is a 5th generation in shipping. So we have been brought up from a young age. I remember 13 years old, it was 1994. I went aboard my first vessel as a deckhand. I boarded the ship in Rotterdam. I went over to Brazil, and then from Brazil I went to China. That was my first voyage on a ship. So we learned from our parents how to, you got to understand this industry. You need to understand that in order to be able to be at management level, you need to start off at a low position, learn the job, learn what the seafarers go through. It's not just a ship in the middle of the ocean sailing. These people are away from their families, the crew members. They're parted from their families for quite a long time, 6 months most of the times. They have rough seas ahead of them. They're in a small community aboard a ship. So I was very lucky to be brought up. I'm not the only one who has followed these steps. Most Inusians, I remember your previous Nicolas, who mentioned that he also has started at a young age, working aboard the ships, so on and so forth. It's common for us Inusians to start that way.
It's kind of cultural thing. So
Exactly. Inusis is a very important island. It's the island of many seafarers, and many of which became ship owners. It has a long tradition. And for a very small island, this is very important because, Inusis has something like 1,000 inhabitants. So for Inusis to have, so many ship owners and seafarers is a great achievement. Now, going on to your question, which I still haven't answered, in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, I was in the Greek, 2012, I was in the Greek army. And we had an incident near the area of Inusis. I was in Chios. And I was called upon my older brothers to attend the incident due to that I was close by being in the army in Chios. So a tender came to pick me up and take me to the incident. And as I was traveling with the sailing with the boat to the incident, I saw a magnificent Baieto 44 meters, the ex Tatiana per sempre. That's when I actually fell in love with yachting, and I said, wow, what a beautiful yacht. And I started managing, we actually acquired that yacht 6 months later. I managed that yacht. And as I was managing parallel to working in the family group, I turn around and say, do you know what? Greece had so many beautiful things. We have history. We have civilization. We have great food. We have weather, seas. I don't know if I'm forgetting something. Why aren't we the first in the yachting market in the world. And that's when in 2018 and 19, as I was working and managing the yacht parallel with other jobs that I had, that's when I started Evangelos thinking to build a commercial fleet of yachts.
When you founded Angel Yachts, what was your vision and how has the company evolved over the years?
Our vision was very simple. For every business to work, it needs to make money. But our vision, my personal vision, was to create safe jobs all year round for Greek crew. This was and is until today a very important factor of our business plan regarding these yachts. I remember in 2020 when we acquired the Idyllic, our first commercial yacht, the market in Greece and maybe around the world, but I will say mostly Greece, was for crew members to work seasonal, and during the winter on a 60-meter yacht you would have 5, 6, maybe 7 crew members throughout the winter, and then the rest you would have during the summer for seasonal.
Maybe the double number of the crew that they did have in the winter?
Exactly, double the crew that they had in the winter in the summer. What I had turned around and I had said in 2020, and part of our business plan was, we are going to have crew members all year round, 12 months a year. They're going to receive insurance all year. They are not going to be working seasonal. So that was part of the vision. The goal still is and was to... Greek shipping is number 1 in the world, Evangelos. Why can't Greek yachting be number 1 in the world? So our end goal and our vision, apart from what I said for the crew, is also for Greece to become number 1 location in the yachting industry, but also number 1 in management of yachts around the world. So I think I've explained and I've answered your question. Now, how we've evolved throughout the years, well,
This is closer to my next question, basically, which is about your major investment that you have made. And I would like to ask you, what inspired you to expand your operation with 3 new super yachts? It's a huge investment, and everyone who is in the industry is talking about this size of your investment.
Excuse me, and excuse me to your viewers as well if I repeat myself sometimes, but it is of great importance for me to be able to pass the following information. History, civilization, food, weather. We have everything. Greece has all the tools. 200 plus inhabitant islands, 6,000 islands around Greece. Can someone tell me if there's any other country in the world that has the luck, to have such what's the word that I can use? To be so fortunate to have all these things. So I'm going to ask you a question, Evangelos.
I'm happy.
Let's turn around.
Yes, let's turn around. Yes,
yeah, okay.
Bring it up, please.
So I'm going to ask you a question. You have been to Monaco Yacht Show. And we know that Monaco and the Côte d'Azur, I'm going to talk about the Mediterranean, I'm not going to talk about the Caribbean, is the hub of yachting. So I'm going to ask you let's say that you own a 60-meter yacht and you moor your yacht in Monaco. Can you please tell me your itinerary? What you would be doing in Monaco, how you would pass your time. So you have a 60-meter yacht in Monaco.
So I think there is no comparison between Greece and Monaco. We are like a country that has so many options that you can travel and cruise with a super yacht, with a yacht, that there is no comparison with Monaco. So I cannot imagine myself being in Monaco and having a cruise on there. I can only imagine myself, being in Greece and having a nice trip here in our Greek waters. So the landscape, the natural environment, all the things that you said and you mentioned before, this is my view as well. And I truly believe that as a country, we must be the best yachting destination globally. So that's why we have started this podcast with the tagline, in Greece, yachting is what we do best, because this is frankly, what I believe, and this is my view.
Well, so far in Greece, what we do best is shipping. And I hope it's going to be yachting as well soon. But so far, it is shipping. I like your answer. I would say that having our yachts in Monaco, the Côte d'Azur, I will go out to nice restaurants. I have a very nice country with beautiful things to see, like the museum. But at the end of the day, having a yacht means, and let's talk about Greece. So I would say to whoever's a yacht owner, moor your yacht in Greece. For example, we have the Ellinikon project, which is under construction. One of the biggest projects in Southern Europe currently going forward. It's a huge project. There's going to be a marina built there. There's actually already a marina, but it's going to be bigger than what it is today. And I am thinking, so in Monaco you have your villa, in Cannes you have your villa, in the Côte d'Azur you have your villa somewhere, you have your yacht, it's moored there, you go out. The sea is nice, the weather is nice, the food is nice. Yeah, but the Côte d'Azur is beautiful. In Greece, you have your yacht in Marina Flisvos, in Marina Agios Kosmas, in I can say 6 marinas in Athens. You have your villa in the southern suburbs of Athens. You have the Ellinikon project, which is happening, which is under construction now. And you also have your yacht in one of these marinas. Leave your villa to go to your yacht. That's a distance of 10 minutes. From the marina to go to 30 or 40 islands, which I can name one by one, within 2 hours. You have 30 or 40 islands to visit.
It's incredible.
So on Friday, you finish your work, you go from your villa to your yacht, 10 minutes. From your yacht, you sail out within 2 hours, you have 30 to 40 options. I think I've answered your question.
Indeed. And thank you so much for that. I would like to talk about your acquisitions and the new yachts that you are building. What makes them stand out as a super yacht?
You have very nice questions. Now, again, I'm not going to go into specifications because I would like some things to be a surprise when these yachts are delivered. Firstly, I would say that we are lucky as a management company, as Angel Yachts, which I am the managing director, as you have well said, to have investors that, the shareholders that believe in our business plan, which is to create a fleet of commercial yachts. And this is where I'm going to differentiate. And I'm again going to go to your interview with your previous
guest, Mr.
Pateras, who said he's never chartered his yacht. Very well. And I agree. It's different to have a private yacht. It's different to have a commercial yacht. A private yacht, and I can explain to your viewers why this is. A private yacht many times has the chef that the owner might have at home, has the stewardess or the hotel manager, part of the staff. Basically, part of the staff on the yacht is, they might have a friendly relation, they might be working at their premises, at their homes, in their villas in Athens. The yacht is built to the requirements of Mr. and Miss, the principals who have built the yacht. On commercial yachts, this is totally different. We are building these yachts, this is specific, we are building these yachts for commercial use. What does commercial use mean? It means our captains, our chief engineers, our bosses, our hotel managers are all involved, apart from our back office at Angel Yachts. They are all involved in the building of these yachts. So we are trying to create, and this is what I'm trying to differentiate, commercial yacht from private yachting. These yachts are being built for commercial use. So we want them to be efficient for the crew. When I say efficient, the crew needs to be able to do their job aboard the yacht. You know, these guys, they work 7 days a week for months on end. If you ask me, my personal view is that it can be harder than merchant shipping, because you don't have Sunday off on a yacht. You don't have, you have your rest hours, of course, but you are on a yacht with a small community, you have your guests aboard, and you have to take care of these people aboard, your guests. So it is very important for us all to understand that the yachts need to be built to the specification of our crew. I will tell you a small story, Evangela. When we were negotiating the terms of this agreement with the Italian Sea Group, and personally with Giovanni Costantino, which has become a friend of the families, and we see these two families as a joint venture. This is not only, for us, business also has to do with the human side. It's not only about numbers, it's not only about making money. Of course, you need to make money, but it's not only about this. So with Giovanni Costantino, with all the Italian Sea Group family, we have a great cooperation building these yachts. I remember when we were negotiating the terms, at some point, I was telling Giovanni, I was trying to explain to Giovanni, I need to create larger areas for the crew. And he goes to his colleagues, what is Mr. Angelakos on about? Usually people are asking me to minimize the crew accommodation quarters. No, this is again the difference between private and commercial. Commercial yachts, sailing around the world. You need to provide accommodations to your crew to be able to be in an environment that they can work the hours and the days that are required. So they need to have their personal gym aboard. They need to have not 2x2 cabins. They need to have large cabins, large areas, a TV to be able to watch, to be able to rest. Always taking into consideration, which we will discuss later, being vigilant, being safe, having their eyes open, because you have the most important crew aboard. But we'll go into that.
Indeed. And this is so important that you create...
Sorry, not crew, cargo. The most important cargo aboard. Your cargo here isn't grains, it isn't coal, it's humans.
That is so important that you mentioned that you would like to create a comfortable environment for the people that they work on these super yachts, which is amazing. And I think that you differentiate yourself and your investment by doing this. My next question is about the markets that you're primarily targeting. As far as I'm aware, these super yachts are intended for global chartering, right? So which markets are you primarily targeting?
So, as I have said, commercial yachts to be sailing around the world. So therefore, the Caribbean is a market, Middle East is a market, the Mediterranean, of course, is a market, and a market that hasn't been visited by many foreigners is the Asian market, which I find very interesting because due to our background in shipping, we have a very strong connection with both Japan and China. So Asia is also a destination that I haven't really looked into, but we are looking into. The other markets that I have aforementioned are markets that we can definitely sail to, and these are the markets that we're looking to. I was discussing this at the Super Yacht Times Summit in the Gulf Super Yacht Summit in Dubai, where I was invited by my friend Marian to discuss these three new buildings being built in the Italian Sea Group. And what I was trying to pass on to the viewers, but to the delegates there, was Greece and the Middle East have a lot in common. The Middle East have, given a lot to civilization, to the world. It's a pathway. Greece and Middle East is very close. In order to pass the Suez Canal and to reach the Middle East, it's 2-3 days. To go from Athens to Crete is, maybe 1.5 days. So let's not forget the Mediterranean, which is Greece, Côte d'Azur, and the Middle East can be very closely connected. Then we have the Caribbean, and then we have what we're looking into, the Asian market.
You are catering to an ultra high-end clientele. What kind of experience do these super yachts offer their guests?
What these yachts, and generally any yacht above 40 meters, should be offering their guests is a unique experience, an idyllic experience. You have your guests living aboard the yacht for 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 days sometimes. They become one with the crew. So one could say having, and it's a saying in yachting, which I'm sure you know, having a old yacht with a very good a bad yacht with a very good crew is very positive, and you will have a very nice vacation. Having a brand new, luxurious, boat with a bad crew,
it makes the whole experience terribly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what we are obliged to do, the way we see things at Angel Yachts, for 60 to 70 meter yachts, we need to provide our guests with an idyllic experience, a unique experience. I want their food to be fresh. I want, and many times this is what we discuss with the captain, I'm sure these people are used to having gourmet Michelin stars. Yes, we are in Greece. We have fresh lobster. We have fresh fish. So we have great meat. Our food is delicious. I mean, I can quote Gordon Ramsay that has said, Greek food is better than Italian food. So, and this is not me saying it, it's Gordon Ramsay. So do you know what? You have to have a smile on your face. You need to be next to these people to basically be a philoxenos Greek crew member. Philoxenia, which, as you know, there is no such word in the rest of the world, which is friend of the foreigner, friend of your guest. This is how we try to create a unique experience for our guests, therefore for them to feel that they're at home.
And the human element, as you said, is a key, plays a key role for the guests to enjoy and have a nice experience on these super yachts.
The most important role.
My next question is about the jobs that this investment that you have made and your company is creating. So how important is this opportunities that you give to people to work on these boats and super yachts for Greece's maritime and tourism sectors?
Well, it's very important. What one needs to understand, and I'm going to go back a little to the previous question about the experience we were saying to our guests, because it comes together with the jobs being created. At least in our mind, in our philosophy, in order for a crew member to do their job rightly, to do their job with love, to do their job, they need the right tools. What are the right tools? For us, it's paying them all year round, so they know that they have a safe job. It's providing them the tools aboard the yacht for them to be able to do their job well. A nice environment, which means you're getting a good wage, you're getting paid all year round, you have a good team spirit aboard the yacht, you have a good captain aboard, a good leader to be able to lead. You know, the captain, it's not only for the captain to cruise the Mediterranean and sail the yacht. No, that is actually, I would say, not the only important thing the captain has to do. The captain also needs to manage his crew, keep the team spirit high. In order for the captain to do his job correctly, he needs the management and the owner to provide the captain and his crew with the right tools. Right tools means for them to be able to do their jobs out on the deck, for them to be able to gloss the hull, for them to be able to have the toys to provide to the guests, for them to have the right food aboard, the right tools, basically.
Do you think that the Greek government provides sufficient support for the yachting industry? Are there any improvements that could be made in terms of infrastructure or regulations?
We can see that the current Greek government are making an effort in order to bring investors to Greece. So, you know, there is an effort being done. Now, for me, and I'm talking on a personal note here, for me, it's not really only about the government. It's about yacht management companies and owners and crew coming together, creating a unified voice towards the government. In order, the government doesn't need to listen to 10 different, you have the owners of Greek yachting, the small owners of Greek yachting, one organization, so you have like 10 organizations, so the government doesn't know who to listen to. There needs to be one unified organization speaking with the government. Of course, I'm not going to say that we don't need marinas. I'm not going to say, Greece needs to invest, the government needs to invest in infrastructure. So this definitely is required. We're making steps in coordination with the Greek, as I said, owners, yacht managers, and the Greek crew, the marinas. Greece can excel. It's not only the government, it's all of us together.
That's true. That's so correct that everybody has to work towards this in order to achieve these goals and maybe lobbying the government for these things that you mentioned. You initially enter the super yacht charter market with Idyllic, followed by Sea Kid 2. What lessons did you learn from these first acquisitions?
Well, look, every business, when a new business is started, it's a time to learn. And this is actually the philosophy that I have been brought up to think. That's why we didn't acquire 2, 3, 4 yachts from the very beginning. We found this beautiful yacht that we're hosting this great initiative of yours aboard. In 2020 in June, we acquired her. And throughout the years, and this was for us at AYC, was very important, we bought the second yacht into the company in 2022, and we placed an order for 3 new buildings in 2023. So one can see that, we wanted to, first 2 years with the Idyllic, then another year with the Sea Kid. So we were getting to know the charter market, because it's a new business for AYC. And it's not only a new business, it's a new business with young people in the office and young people aboard our yachts. So we are investing in the younger generation. Now, of course, we try to mix that with the experience, both at the office and aboard the yachts, with people of 45 years of age, 50, which have more experience. And what we have learned, time is always accommodating into learning things. But I haven't really answered your question regarding what
lessons did you learn from this first acquisition? Yeah. It's I think it's a learning curve. So you start a business, you make a new acquisition, and as you go, you learn from these steps that you are making. And my next question is also close to the previous one, because it's about the Greek.
Wait, yeah. we learn every day. There's so many things that I could say that one has learned, from both and I would say both in the back office, but also on the yachts. I would say mostly on the yachts, because the experience of managing a ship is also of great importance. You have to be very, very aware, very hands-on. Safety is a very important on both ships and yachts. So learning, I would say that we are evolving. The crew know the job, the back office knows the job. Every day we learn certain things and we excel and evolve.
Both yachts have exclusively Greek crews. Why was this an important decision for you, and what advantages does it bring?
It's not exclusively, it's 90%, 95% are Greek. Okay, it's nearly exclusively because we also work with international crew. We try to create, as I told you, and I've said this before, safe jobs. And a safe job does not mean, it's not only about money. I would like to talk about, we have crew with us on the Idyllic and on Sea Kid, which have been with the family for above 12 years, 15 years. We have people working in the family's group of companies for above 30 years. We have second and third generation people working for our company, for our group of companies. So
it's about giving stability, security, and providing all these things that an employee wants to have for his or her life. Everybody needs to have stability and security in the working environment. How do you see the demand for the luxury yacht charters evolving today?
The demand, I think, is growing. And again, this is a personal view.
Especially now that we have a new government in the US, we have so many things, that we talk about tariffs, and this is a huge discussion all over the world, and things have changed.
I will tell you what I believe is that the demand for yachts is growing. And the reason it is growing is I see that many people and many owners don't want to have the headache of managing a yacht. We see more and more people chartering yachts. We have the new generation of the tech moguls, which don't want the headache of organizing and managing. They just want to charter for a month, or they want to charter for 10 days. Not only on the yachting side, we see this in real estate as well. You see many tech moguls that don't want to own property in general. They want to invest their funds in businesses or in their ideas. Therefore, I see the demand growing. I see Greece and the Mediterranean growing. I see the Middle East growing. There's great opportunity in the Middle East. Generally, as a market. But again, I'm going to talk about commercial and private yachts. Are you, the charterer, our guest, are you broking a private yacht or are you broking a commercial yacht? Which one of the two are you chartering? Because if it's a private yacht, it's a private that does a few weeks of commercial. If it's commercial, their business is like a hotel. It only does business-orientated charter, one after the other. And this is what we're trying to offer.
After this major investment, what is next for Angel Yachts? Do you have plans for new projects or even further expansion?
We always are looking to expand. Currently, we have, the 3 new building projects in the Italian Sea Group. We have 2 at sea at the moment. For us, it's about building first the crew, which is what we've been doing the last 3-4 years, building the crew, to have crew, to be able to send these crew, have trust with these crew, have a good relationship with our crew, to be able to send them, the older ones, aboard the new buildings, the younger ones to start being in charge aboard these yachts at sea, the older ones, giving them the opportunity to excel. Therefore, we have a deckhand that has been with us with no experience prior to coming here on yachts, has been with us for 3 to 4 years, and we're looking to make him the next bosun of the yacht, of the idyllic. I'm sure the crew member that I'm talking about knows who he is. These opportunities, they're great opportunities for our crew. And I'm glad to have the crew on both yachts that I have, and to have the relationship that I have with both my captains, but with all my crew. Again, I haven't answered your question, which is what major investments are we looking to in the near future? Well, currently, we can look at different things that I would prefer not to discuss live. We're always looking to expand in the fleet, but also outside of the fleet. Stay tuned and you will see.
What has been one of the most memorable experiences you've had in the yachting world?
There are a few. One of them that I remember was when our chef aboard Idyllic called me over the phone, and he goes to me, Mr. Angelakos, the principal charter, a lady, came into the kitchen with her grandchildren, and she wanted to bake some cookies that the chef had baked previously with her grandchildren. and she wanted the ingredients from our chef. That shows the hospitality, the
connection and the
yes,
whole.
and the homey experience.
Yeah,
This
that's
was
so
very-
nice story.
This was one of the memorable. Very important is also, I find, the guest book. The guest book that we have aboard the yacht, where you see how our guests refer to our crew aboard as part of the family. I would think that these are the most memorable for me. I'm not going to discuss about, if we've had a guest aboard who has ordered 100 champagne bottles or the most expensive caviar or things like that, because this is not what, it's part of our business, but it's not what I find memorable personally. I enjoy also welcoming aboard our guests and greeting them farewell when I can. Something that I've had a bit of a problem with most brokers, but the brokers are starting to understand my mentality. I'm not here to steal anyone's charter or to make a connection with them. We are here to provide them with services, and that means to be available for them 24/7 for whatever their needs are. So therefore, like you and I enjoy going to a hotel, or anyone going to a hotel, and the owner coming and welcoming you, this is, again, it's philoxenia. This is the way I've been brought up. This is what I like to do. So I've shared quite a few experiences and memorable ones, apart from the ones that I've said, but it's going to take us forever to discuss.
What do you love most about your job?
Everything. I am very fortunate to love what I do. And again, this is something that I try to pass on to my colleagues, both in the office and aboard the yachts. Find something that you love, you will never need to work in your life. If you don't get up in the morning and have a smile on your face going to work, then resign. Try and find something else. This is something that, I'm talking to your viewers as well to understand that, and I would like to address seafarers and the Greek seafarers, but international, the young generation, the wages are good. This is pragmatic. We have 2 yachts moored in Greece. We have another 3 yachts coming, which most likely are going to have their home port here in Greece. We offer safe jobs, and you're not far away like you were in the past from your houses 1 year, 1.5 years. You're gone for 6 months on a ship. On a yacht, again, the season is 5 to 6 months. It's a hard job, but the wages are very good. The wages on a 60-meter yacht, for us at least, they start at 1,600 euros, fully insured, 1,600, and they reach up to 7,500 or 8,000 per month. If one includes the tips that the crew receive, which we have an average, and I'm very proud to say this for AYC and for our crews on both yachts, we have an average of 15% tips of the gross charter price. So we're talking about, and they are worth these tips because they go out of their way. They try for something more. The crew is there 24/7. So,
What advice would you give to someone looking to enter the yachting industry, either as an entrepreneur or as a professional?
I will start off as a professional. As a professional, if you want to be a crew member, the most important things, love what you do, be professional in what you do, be vigilant, That's for a professional. And it doesn't matter if that's going to be on a yacht or if it's going to be in the back office. If you have these tools, you will excel and you will go well.
What advice would you give to a business owner or an entrepreneur or someone who would like to invest in yachting, buying some yachts or a startup in yachting?
It's a great market. There's great opportunity here. But in order for you to invest in this industry, like people have done in the past, I cannot not mention Mr. Liveras, who was a Cypriot owner, who was the first Greek to start commercial yachting, and then followed by Golden Yachts of Captain Paris Dragnis, who has offered a lot to Greek yachting, who builds yachts in Greece. And I would like to put a parenthesis here, was something that we were looking into as well. We tried to build these yachts here in Greece, but unfortunately they could not be delivered within the timeline that our shareholders had, which was by 2027. Therefore, we had to look at other options, and we ended up with our close friend Giovanni Costantino of the Italian Sea Group. So you have Liveras, you have Mr. Liveras, you have Captain Paris Dragnis of Golden Yachts, and they have made it work. I mean, Captain Paris, Golden Yachts, they build yachts, they charter them as well, and they've made it work. So he knew about shipping. I know about shipping. So it's easier for us to enter the yachting market. If you're an investor that is not familiar with the sea, I've had the fortune to be brought up by the sea. Sea is part of our life. So for us, we have a common understanding coming from shipping. For an investor that has no idea, I would say find a good management company you can acquire and you can make money from a yacht.
But it's tough if you don't have this background to run this business.
Exactly. It's a lot more difficult if you don't have this background. So if you want to invest, you're more than welcome to come to Angel Yachts and we can show you the way how to invest. We can manage your yachts and we can make a reasonable profit for you.
Looking ahead, where do you see the future of Greek yachting in the next 10 years?
If we are able, and when I say we, I'm talking about AYC, but in general, the yachting market, all you need to do is copy-paste the shipping mentality, merchant marine. Greece are number one. So if you copy the thought process, the work process of the shipping industry, of the Greek shipping industry, and you implement that to Greek yachting, I think that within the next 10 years, Greece is going to be a hub. It's going to be for me the number one location, and it should be the number one location around the world, not only in the Mediterranean. And this comes from people. Again, it's not only Mr. Pateras, who I remember said has friends of his that visit Greece the last 10 years. We have friends that visit Greece the last 20, 30 years with yachts, and they come back every year. Every year they pass by at least for 1-2 weeks. We have Turkish friends that come the last 15 years, 1 or 2 weeks, and they sail in Greece. And it's like, my question is, how come? Because I want to hear it from their mouth. How come you visit Greece so often? And the answer is very simple. There are so many places to see, so many historical sites, such nice people, so many beautiful. In the Aegean, you can go to Inousses, you can go to Simi, you can go to Castellorizo. Let's not talk about Kyklades and Mykonos and Santorini all the time. There are so many beautiful islands around Greece to go and visit. Virgin Islands with beautiful, clear, see-through water. So Greece should be up on the top.
I totally agree with you, Mr. Angelakos. It's time to ask you a series of quick questions, and you can answer with one word or a short phrase. No overthinking, just the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Yep, let's go for it.
What's one skill every yacht member must have?
Safety.
What's the biggest myth about super yachts?
That the yacht makes the experience. It's not about the yacht. It's about the crew on the yacht.
What's the most surprising item you've seen on a yacht?
Submarine.
Where did you see the most breathtaking view from a boat?
Poliegos.
What's the most unforgettable yacht party you've ever attended?
Last summer with Kevin Hart for his birthday. We hosted the Sea Kid. We hosted him aboard the Sea Kid.
Wow. What's your go-to song for a boat playlist?
I don't know for a song. I would say folk island music.
Which Greek coastal town has the best seafood?
Chalkida.
What's the funniest guest request you've ever heard of?
I can't say.
What's your favorite on-board water toy or gadget?
For me or for the guests?
For you.
Jet ski.
Who is your dream guest to host on board?
I don't have a dream guest. My dream is to make everyone aboard our yachts feel great, unique, and have a wonderful experience.
We have started a closing tradition on this podcast where the previous guest leaves a question for the next guest. The question left from you is from Mr. Pateras about your business plan that you have for these investments that you made and all these things that you mentioned before.
I've answered it previously. I will repeat. He asked the question, but he also mentioned Kaptaparis. So I would say the answer is there. Golden Yachts have done it. They are not only building yachts, they're not only chartering yachts, they've made an investment of it. But I can be more specific. Let's be honest. With the wages that AYC pays to their crew, if we have the right crew, the right mentality, the right philosophy, they take care of the boats, and we have the OPEXs that we are running at currently, within 12 to 14 weeks of charter, you can have a return of about 8 to 10%. If you charter your yacht above 14 weeks and above 18 weeks, it becomes really interesting. I will not go into the numbers, but that's when it becomes really interesting. And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking for above 16 to 18 weeks.
Mr. Angelakos, thank you for joining us today and sharing your insight. It has been fascinating to hear about Angel Yachts' growth, your latest investments, and your vision for the future of Greek yachting. Thank you so much indeed.
It was a pleasure having you aboard Idyllic, and thank you for this wonderful interview. It has been great. Your questions were very challenging, interesting, and we really love what you're doing. Your idea, this initiative is great, and I want you to know that we'll be there supporting you every way. Carry on, and I'm going to get ready for you one of these beautiful T-shirts that I'm wearing.
I love this
the fleet at the back, yeah, to be able to give to you. Unfortunately, it hasn't been ready for today to give to you, but we will be sending to you very often, very quickly.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your nice comments and your words. I wish you all the best, and hopefully I will see you again in the future in another interview.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoy the show, please hit the follow button. It's a small way to help us get the show off the ground. Thanks for listening.